Alright, chat, yes, I know Ghost Rider 1. So, let's take a look at this. It's why you should fear the Ghost Rider. And honestly, between Ghost Rider and Spider-Man, I definitely prefer Ghost Rider over Spider-Man. So, I'm really curious, like, the obvious thing is why should you fear him is because of his penance there, but I'm wondering if they're going to get deeper into it. So, let's go.
Hello, I'm Tyler, this is the Imaginary Axis, and what are you afraid of? Come on, there's no need to be tough about it. Fear's completely natural. Maybe you're afraid of your own death, or snakes, or spiders. Going insane. Inanimate objects that appear to move when you're not looking. That feeling you get when you're all alone in a dark room. Nuclear war. One of the reasons fear intrigues us the way it does is because there's so much variety to it. The feeling when you believe there's a bear in your house is different from the feeling when you believe there's a ghost in your house, even though both feelings are fear. It's your brain telling you that there's something threatening nearby, an inner siren that sounds when you're in danger. We can all probably assume that on the eves of our deaths, the siren will sound one way or another, like it's
Okay, I'm going to slightly disagree with you saying about the fear. Like, there's a difference between a bear being in your house and a ghost being in your house. The big difference there is the bear you can actually see. It is a tangible fear, so you're still afraid. With all the, like, ghost and spookiness, you can't see it. Your imagination sees it. So you don't have anything tangible for your brain to lock onto, and thus the fear part of your brain is working in conjunction with the creative part of your brain and coming up with some serious fucking nightmare fuel. That's why something like a quote-unquote ghost or the unknown is far scarier than a bear, because with a bear, you know what you're dealing with. The unknown, you have no fucking idea what you're dealing with, so you have no idea how to fight it or how to escape it. That's the big difference. The imagination is probably as powerful or more powerful than the fear itself.
Supposed to, but will it be the never-ending roar of natural fear? The sudden alarm of unnatural fear? Or the ominous moan of unknown fear? That, my imaginary friends, is why should you ever find yourself on a dusty, abandoned road in the middle of the night, only to hear the distant rev of an engine, followed by eerily bright lights that move unnaturally fast and straight? You need to make peace with God immediately. All three sirens are about to sound, for the Ghost Rider may be upon you. There are plenty of logical reasons to be afraid of the Ghost Rider, just as you would a hungry tiger or a lunatic with a shotgun. But I don't care how scary you think the Punisher is, the Ghost Rider is much worse. His motorcycle can reach—
By the way—
You think the Punisher is,
Ghost
Rider is—
I never liked this version of the Ghost Rider. I forget what his name is. I'm sorry. There are two Ghost Riders. Johnny Blaze and, what was the kid's name? Shit. Yeah, well, this is Robbie. First Ghost Rider was Johnny Blaze. The second Ghost Rider was Danny Ketch, I believe. If I remember correctly, it's Danny Ketch. Cougar Slade, I never knew about outside of the movies. I only knew about Johnny and Danny. And primarily I knew about Danny, because he was— I remember him from the, I don't know, more quote-unquote modern age of Ghost Rider. Johnny Blaze was what, 70s and 80s? I think? Yeah, well, Mike, the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Ghost Rider is based upon Robbie Reyes, who is in the comics. Well, I mean, there have been all sorts of Ghost Riders. That was the thing about Ghost Rider. They liked giving the Ghost Rider power to everybody. Fucking Logan was the Ghost Rider at one point, and I'm pretty sure goddamn Deadpool was the Ghost Rider. I think it's pronounced Zarathos, has like gone into a bunch of different people, but the iconic Ghost Riders is Johnny, Danny, and Robin. Those are the three iconic Ghost Riders. And yeah, Alex, the comic book Robbie probably might have been pretty cool. Agents of Shield, they did not do him justice because, from what I gathered, Agents of Shield, Robbie Reyes was weak as fuck. From what I've heard, he was incredibly weak in Agents of Shield. Like, they were able to so easily contain him when nobody should have been able to contain him. And yeah, they can't. Yeah, the penance can't affect Deadpool because Deadpool's fucking crazy, and he doesn't actually think he's done anything wrong.
Is much worse. His motorcycle can reach incalculable speeds and defy the laws of physics depending on who he's chasing and why. It's been seen going over water, up buildings, across the sky, and into other dimensions. The Ghost Rider can call his cycle to him out of literally nowhere, and even when he's not riding it, it follows his every command. There's no reasonable way to escape this thing. Once he's locked onto you, he's going to catch you. And that's a problem because he has super strength, metal chains that move according to his orders, and obviously the ability to summon and manipulate fire. But not just any fire, Hellfire that can burn your very soul to ashes. So don't think you're getting out of this because you have a hose or a fire suit for some reason.
Robosburn was okay. They're actually gonna talk about it here. I was gonna ask, did he actually do that? Yes, Mikey. Yes, Deadpool. I think Deadpool. Did he marry Death? Or no? I think he just courted Death. I don't think he actually married Death. But yes, he had a relationship with Death. The problem was Death could never actually have him because of his immortality. So it was sort of like there was a love triangle between Deadpool, Death, and Thanos. Because Thanos also loved Death. And so to prevent Deadpool from ever being able to be with Death, Thanos actually cursed him with immortality.
Ashes. So don't think you're getting out of this because you have a hose or a fire suit for some reason. The Ghost Rider doesn't care that you don't burn easily. Your soul does. He'll gladly fry it to a crisp and consume the leftovers greedily. This is fear of the natural. It's what happens when you're locked into a situation that you understand but have very little chance of escaping from unscathed. The whole idea is actually so primal that it's undoubtedly the shortest and easiest to comprehend. This section can basically be summed up with, hey, want a tip for fighting the Ghost Rider? Here's one, don't.
Don't.
But what about when you don't really know what you're up against? There's something out there, but you can't understand it. Maybe we're talking about a sudden boo! Or maybe you see something that doesn't make sense.
I'd say so,
Our friend has that
Revan.
covered too. The Ghost Rider is a human soul, bonded to a spirit of vengeance, and sometimes more. When Johnny Blaze made a deal with the devil, he had the essence of Zarathos tied to him, a demon that rivaled even the most powerful Hell Lords, shaped by primordial evil hundreds of thousands of years ago, only below the elder gods of old. That might sound like nonsense to you, but that's exactly what makes it scary. The sheer amount of missing information about what these creatures are, how they operate, and what they're capable of. All we know is not to mess with them. In the Marvel universe...
And that's why I've said, this kind of lends to what I've always said is having less information about something makes for a much more interesting story. Because you don't know a whole lot about these things, makes them that much more interesting. The mystery makes them interesting because you have to try and put the pieces together for yourself, or your imagination basically comes up with all sorts of things, and it makes for a very interesting story. That writers don't do that anymore because they literally need to spoon feed everything to the modern audience. Audiences of old actually enjoyed using their imaginations when they read fictional stories. It made them fun and interesting. It's hard to find those these days.
Universe, we frequently come across creepy, crawly abominations like Mephisto, a monster that the Ghost Rider can match in combat. And they do things like torture people in their dreams, open massive chasms in the ground to consume unsuspecting souls. They can battle universe shapers like Galactus, Doctor Strange, and Franklin Richards. They rewrite reality on a whim, and it's not entirely clear what they can't do. So when the Ghost Rider spontaneously grows in size, raises the dead, or summons a swarm of locusts, it's unexpected, but we're already fearing the unexpected by virtue of meeting him. He's a demon. He might scatter our souls across the universe in a second, drop us in an unending death, toss a galaxy at us, or turn us inside out because he's beyond our comprehension. To experience this flavor of fear on a more basic level, I recommend looking up the YouTube video There Is Nothing and watching it alone. In the dark. It's uncanny, the voice, the face, you don't quite understand what you're looking at, why it's there, or what it's capable of. Doctor Strange once described the Ghost Rider's raw power as boundless and godlike. If the spirit's not—
Well, I mean, Zags, there have been a lot of Ghost Riders. That's what I was saying. There have been multiple Ghost Riders in recent years. They've made all sorts of heroes and characters, Ghost Riders. Very temporarily. Usually it's like a one-off thing that lasts maybe a couple issues and then it's done. So it's there. I have no doubt that there was at least one female Ghost Rider.
Being held back by the human host, it can challenge Lucifer, or maybe bring all of existence down on top of us, life and afterlife. In fact, this subset of unnatural fear is known as cosmic horror. The idea that you, I, and all of humanity for that matter are essentially irrelevant.
I don't know, Mike.
A microscopic blue marble in a tiny, indifferent universe that some greater powers are playing dice with past our imagination. Then there's fear of the unknown. I think the famous horror novelist Stephen King described it best as terror in Danse Macabre. It's when the lights go out, and you feel something behind you. You hear it. You feel its breath against your ear. But when you turn around, there's nothing there. Fear of the unknown is that suspense you get when you're 2 levels of mystery removed from natural fear and 1 level removed from unnatural fear. Something's about to happen, something bad, but you don't know what. In the case of the Ghost Rider, the only thing scarier than the demon inside is the angel inside. Whether this is Zarathos' pure form or something else entirely is a little unclear, as the true origin of these powers has been muddied by liars and demons over time. It's a little silly to think that a Lord of Hell would be riding through the streets punishing criminal souls, isn't it? Hell's supposed to appreciate that kind of stuff. It's almost equally silly that when considering angels and demons, we tend to be more afraid of the losers. The spirit of vengeance inside Johnny Blaze is not demonic.
He's right about that. And we've been seeing more of that these days in works of fiction. What he was saying right here. Hang on, let me play this again.
Equally silly that when considering angels and demons, we tend to be more afraid of the losers.
Think about in recent media where they've utilized the concept of angels and demons. Okay? Constantine, Lucifer, oh god, I just had another, oh fuck, what's that Amazon one? Shit, what's the Amazon one with David Tennant? I'm blanking on the name. Good Omens. Yes, thank you. Think about those in popular media now. It's taking the concept of angel good, demon bad, and completely flipping the script a lot lately. And now it's the angels that are kind of looked at as being the bad guys, Whereas the demons are not so much the bad guys anymore. It's all becoming very murky. Like with I thought that with the way they did it with Lucifer, I thought was very clever. That yes, he got thrown out. They maintain that he got kicked out of heaven by God and got sent to hell. But he wasn't evil. He was basically just a jail keeper. And he was not inherently evil. He was just tasked with basically ruling over the place of evil. But he himself was not. And that, I think, was the coolest take on it. Because it basically gave... It didn't, necessarily, make Lucifer... It didn't do the whole thing of, oh, he's suddenly a good guy, even though Lucifer was. It's they took the idea of Lucifer, and they basically changed it slightly so that, he's considered evil because of his job, not because of who he is. And so it kind of played around with the perspective a little bit in that respect. David Bowie, what are you talking about, Revan? I don't know about that. Don't fear the one who kills the body, but fear the one who destroys the body and the soul. Okay. Oh, I don't remember. I honestly don't remember. It's been a while since I saw Drive Angry, so I can't remember.
The spirit of vengeance inside Johnny Blaze is not demonic. It operates as an agent of God. And in some ways, that's even more terrifying. When Zodkiel rekindled the war in heaven and began to grow sovereign over all reality, the spirits of vengeance just rose up and squashed him. We also learned the only person who can kill a Ghost Rider is the one true God. This effectively flips cosmic horror on its head. Okay, yes, you're an insignificant speck of dust in a universe filled with powers beyond your imagination, but some of those powers are very interested in you. So interested that they send soldiers down to watch you, to interact with you, to look for you. Are you sure you're on God's side? He's supposed to be perfect, so no matter who you are, you fall a little short. It might sound like I'm being ridiculous. I'm a good person, you shout. I've never been to prison or cheated on my partner. I don't lie, steal, or hurt people. But the Ghost Rider can smell sin. He can see it, sense it. And once he catches up with you, which he will, he can stare into your eyes and make you feel all the pain you've ever caused another living being. Every scratch, every bruise, every tear. All the depression and anguish and torment and anger that's entered the world by your hands. Physical, emotional, your sins will course through your body to the point that burning alive is preferable by comparison. Or maybe it won't feel so bad. It all depends on the kind of person you are. The chemistry of the brain...
So if you're Deadpool, he's just going, wow, what pretty eyes you have, Ghost Rider. Well, I doubt we're going to see any more Deadpool, and we're definitely not going to see any more Nick Cage Ghost Rider. Nick Cage is done with Ghost Rider. And as far as Deadpool, I don't know if we're going to see another Deadpool movie. It would have been... I think they were trying... During the development of Deadpool and Wolverine, I think they were trying... Oh, did he? Is that what he said? I don't think I ever read the comic where the two of them met. But... yeah, Nick Cage is too old, but I think they actually tried to get Nick Cage to do the Deadpool Wolverine movie as a Ghost Rider cameo. They wanted to pull in all kinds of cameos for Deadpool and Wolverine. And I think Ghost Rider was one of them. They just couldn't make it happen. And Omega Beard King, thank you for the follow. Sorry, the tier 1, not the follow. The tier 1 for 3 months in advance. Holy shit. Thank you. God, I'm all screwed up right now. Thank you so much.
Brain changes under intense stress.
They tried to do that, Revan. They tried.
After enough time and severity, it will be incapable of reversing the effects under its own power. People go mad. People kill themselves. Would you be able to survive the penance stare? That is fear of the unknown. I've done a lot of things in my life that I'm not
I,
proud of.
Jonathan, you're here. You're good. Don't worry. Don't worry. You're here.
Nothing that could send
Oh,
me to
okay.
jail, but
Okay,
I've hurt
Xbox.
people who didn't deserve it. I've lied to friends. I've caused a
Thank
lot
you,
of pain that I
nickname.
wish I could go back and prevent, but I can't. Maybe another reason we're fascinated by fear is because we like to be threatened. We enjoy painting the face of evil, relish in the opportunity to create a horror.
Wait. Let's see. Let's look at that again. We got some female ghost riders there. Hang on. Oh my god. I forget the demon's name from Legend. The Tim Curry demon from Legend. God, what was its name? God, I can't remember. No, it's not. No, not Hellboy. This is Tim Curry played him. It was in the old Tom Cruise Mia Sorvino movie called Legend. I can't remember if it was just the devil or if it was a demon. I don't remember. But this is like, what, the 80s? Yeah, Lord Darkness, is that what it is called? Yeah. No, it is not Hellboy. No, it is not. This is literally Tim Curry's character from the movie Legend. Lord Darkness. Okay, Lord Darkness from Legend in Xanax is saying 1985. Mm-hmm.
Evil, relish in the opportunity.
There we go. Let's see. Venom, X23. There's the female Ghost Rider. Okay. That must be the one you were talking about that didn't last very long. And then this Blackheart. Okay.
So unbelievably malevolent that we look good by comparison. After all, if the Ghost Rider finds you to stare into your soul, he's not the monster. Or the scariest one there. Happy Halloween, my imaginary friends. Sorry this video ended up being a little bit shorter than you're probably used to now. That was completely unintentional. The script was originally longer, but I ended up cutting a lot of stuff out because it was just kind of irrelevant. It was really interesting to take a departure from my usually upbeat, positive, optimistic endings and do something a little bit darker. And hey, if you're gonna have a dark ending, might as well do it around Halloween, am I right?
I wonder if the penance stare would work on Constantine, who sells his soul on a weekly basis. Cheer 100.
I think it would depend on if it's a week where he actually has a soul or not. But don't forget, Constantine is the guy who walked up to the fucking devil in hell and asked him for a light. Okay, I'm not so sure if Constantine would be scared of the penance stare or not, even if he did have his sub. And thank you, nickname. Yeah, Constantine's probably already worked out how to deal with the penance stare a long time ago, if such a thing was in his realm. And Jonathan, thank you for the follow. I don't remember if he slept with the devil or not. The one thing I remember about him with the devil is that, like, he got sent to hell, walked right up to the devil and said, "Hey, mate, got a light?" And then conned his way out of hell.
Anyway, if this video was spooky enough for you, then hit that like button. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, and I promise I will not come by your house asking for candy. Related projects on screen as always. Best way to help out the channel is sharing around videos. And guys,
I think it's
next month
in progress,
is going to be
Johnny.
fantastic. I've got some amazing videos planned, and I really think you're going to like them. But unfortunately, we'll all have to wait for that one. Have a fantastic Halloween, everybody.
Was pretty cool. I kind of like that. That's pretty neat. Yes, I've heard that they're trying to work on a Constantine 2. I have no idea if it's gonna happen. Oh boy. Someone's having a bad day. I'm hearing all kinds of sirens outside my place. But, yeah, it's not a matter of could I do it, saying I could do it, I'm brave. It's not about bravery. Bravery has nothing to do with it. It's whether or not you've committed sin. And I'm gonna let you guys in on a little secret. Everybody has committed quote unquote sin. Every single person on the planet has sinned in some way.